right, everybody, welcome to another live episode of the Bacchanal Podcast. I am your host, Akil, joined by new illustrious guests we have with us. We have Ginny, and of course, we have KC and the T.O. Screwface Capital, Toronto.
The beautiful T.O. K to the C in the building. I'm also your host here. Welcome, everybody.
How's everybody doing? Ginny, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's really nice outside, and I'm really glad to be here.
All right, folks, we're here because Shang Chi has finally hit the theaters. I know some folks are waiting for that 45 days for it to hit the Disney Premium Plus, but we went. We ventured out to the theaters. We all seen it.
Yeah.
We're here to let you know if the hype is real. But before we do that, I want people to learn about Ginny and her podcast, and let people know about yourself. I know that you did our art for our podcast. So that's pretty dope.
Yes, I did. So before starting a podcast with Jenny Manasek, I do a bit of design on the side from my small business called Ginny Design. So I do a lot of commissions ranging from illustrations, podcast logos, even did like cover art for music artists too. Like I'm pretty diverse that way.
Nice.
Also do a bit of like video editing. I'm kind of learning reading in the ropes of that medium as well. Last year I think it was like pretty much almost a year from now, Jenny and I thought of starting a podcast together, talking and discussing things about K-pop and introducing people more of their music outside of just BTS, since that's like the most popular boy band right now in music industry. Pretty much going from like music reviews, talking about recommended music that we like, and even going into like the entertainment business and see what's going on behind the scenes with like celebrities and like what artists are doing in the back. Pretty much that. We are on hiatus at the moment, but we are planning on coming back soon.
That happens, man. You gotta take a break every once in a while.
Yeah.
I have a random question. Would Anderson .Paak count as K-pop since he's South Korean and African American? And he has ventured in musical field.
I pretty much today. I am today years old. Learning about he has like some connections to some Asian roots. I didn't know about that, but I mean, I consider him like I guess Asian American, but not exactly K-pop, so to say. I'd really love to see him collaborate with some artists in the K-pop industry one of these days.
Because I noticed at the end of Shang-Chi, the outro music was Anderson .Paak they were playing.
And
I was like, how did he weasel his way onto that? I was like, oh yeah, he's South Korean as well. I was like, oh
wow,
I really forgot that.
It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Like good thing. Get some like good representation with Anderson .Paak, and I really like that guy too.
Are a lot of K-pop artists signed or connected to Interscope Records too? Because that's the label that put the soundtrack out. So.
Yeah, I believe there are some K-pop artists that sign under that label and collaborate with other people. And there, I couldn't really exactly name right now, but I know that for the soundtrack of Shang-Chi, which I listened after watching the movie, it was mostly produced by the label called 88 Rising, and it's pretty much like a label primarily for Asian American artists, and even collaborate with other Asian artists like all over the world, not just in Korea, even in Indonesia, Singapore, and China, and it's very, very diverse, and I like how further representing Asia with like a record label designed for that.
Now, how did you feel about the Shang-Chi album? Because I remember when Black Panther came out, the album for it was an event with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
So, was Shang-Chi an event? When the album dropped?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see many like like Asian audiences like as celebratory as like people like the others in Black Panther, because it was like the first time seeing that kind of like event and like that huge cultural phenomenon with that years ago, and hopefully like we could like see some of that too with with Shang-Chi. But yeah, I think I've seen a lot of people really appreciating the music there. I really enjoyed the soundtrack myself. I have like a couple some songs that are my favorites.
Who are some of the K-pop artists that are on Shang Chi and their songs that stood out to you?
Yeah, as I mentioned, or as I said, in the conversation, this is not really much of a showing a bunch of K-pop artists,
Yeah, I
more
think it's like
so
a celebration of Asian culture in the album.
yes, it's more bringing in like more of like the other Asian artists, not just from like the big industry in Korea, but also some lesser known names from 88 Rising. I know Rich Brian. I'm familiar with Rich Brian because he's collaborated with some K-pop artists.
Yeah.
Even people like Zeon T. He used to be under a K-pop label. He's in the soundtrack. Shiori also collaborated with a K-pop band recently. The people who I'm most familiar with who are included in the track is Bibi. She's like the female a hip hop artist nowadays. And also Mark Twan, who is from a group named GOT7, a K-pop boy band.
Now, what trips me out with those K-pop boy bands is like, I'm used to old school boy bands and the limit is 5. Like once you go over 5, you're doing too much. Because I remember when New Edition brought back Johnny Gill and Bobby Brown, they were at 6 and people were like, whoa. But not K-pop groups, man. They have some that are big as, 20 you said one time? They had a group with like 20 guys? Or
yeah, I had a background before I changed it. Like they're one of like the biggest like numbers in K-pop group right now. They're called NCT. They welcome a lot of like diverse Asian groups other than Korea, so they get like Chinese groups, so we get like the Japanese groups too, and even some people from the North Americas in under that same umbrella. Yeah, their concept is like getting a lot of like members in one boy band and like separating them into like different groups so they can like present themselves under one umbrella called NCT. And
I get it.
as of right now, they're like recruiting more members in there. It's like
Cash Money Records.
Yeah,
man.
man.
So much people in the label. I get it, man. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then the picture, it was just
leaves.
the label. It was all the artists. That's what it was.
All the current, all the current members under that
They're not
group.
doing. They're not all doing one song. Like 800 people on one track. Do they do that?
Yeah, there are moments where they come together and make like these like one collaborated album, and then they also perform on the stage together. It's really crazy.
And they tour. They tour with that. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah. Sometimes, but with the pandemic still going on, they weren't able to like perform with the current numbers this year or last year.
But that check has to get cut like 20 ways, though, man.
Yeah.
It gets their name out there, though, so then after they can Beyonce it and make their own thing after.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. A lot of artists can make up, like, do, solo records and all that. They can venture on that road.
A lot. All right. You guys ready to dive into this review of Shang-Chi? Casey, am I allowed to drop the trailer, or is Facebook going to take me down again?
Let's see. Let's take a chance. Why not?
They took me down last time. As I pull up the trailer, Casey, let them know where they can reach us.
Yeah, man. You can reach us at the Bacchanal squad@gmail.com. We're on Instagram and Twitter also at _Bacchanal, and Facebook, just like how you're watching us live, at the Bacchanal Podcast fan page. We're on all places you listen to podcasts at. We're also going on YouTube, and we're also on SoundCloud, where we got our top listeners. Number 3 is DJ Flexstar. Thank you for listening, man.
Appreciate it.
Number 2, Gabata Ta. That's number 2. Number 1, Tim Lewis. Always our number one supporter right there, man. Always checking us out. Ashburn, got a lot of people listen to us there. Dublin, shout out to Dublin, man. Los Angeles, we got some listeners out there. Shout out to you guys. Spain, Toronto, Edmonton, Oshawa. What up, everybody? Thank you for listening. Ajax, Greensboro, Union, Austin. These are all just a number of places that people are messing with us and listening. So thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. We love that. That keeps us going. That keeps the energies flowing, that make us keep wanting to drive forward with this. So man. Let's get it.
I got pulled up. Let's do it. So Facebook gets mad at us.
Facebook we're...
Now let me make sure the sound works. Facebook, we like to. You hear it?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, my cousin used to do that with bricks in the basement, just punching it.
And I was
We
so
can't
close
hear.
to doing that during my martial arts,
Oh
but
yeah?
not to that extent.
Do you draw
Yeah.
your fist with the?
Taekwondo.
Yeah, man, that's hard.
Taekwondo.
You say that you
Yeah.
couldn't hear?
No, I can't hear it.
Ah,
That's okay. We could probably just play it like this. I don't know.
No. I know what it is. I got this. All right, let's do this. We're gonna do that. And bam, and boom, and we're back.
There we go.
Now you see me rise. And where did
Karaoke.
that get you?
Is that a stereotype?
Stereotype.
That's a stereotype, man.
I'm not in the place to say if it is or not.
I think
I know
it
I love doing karaoke, so that looked great. When I saw that, I was like,
is.
oh,
Is that a
this is nice.
stereotype?
I've yet to be in a karaoke bar one of these days. So hopefully, you know, when I get back with my friends.
Every like Japanese game, like Yakuza or Like a Dragon, I was playing that. There's always a karaoke bar that you go to.
Yeah, or in Korea they call it the noreban. That's like they have like their own like, you know, karaoke bars where they have like eat out in one room, and then they have like the karaoke TV
Separate
on the side.
spots. Yeah,
Yeah,
separate
separate
areas,
spots.
enclosed. Yeah.
Mhm.
We have those here on Young Street all over the city. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Just get
saying,
drunk
like,
and mess up
as well.
songs.
I don't want to see him eating a Popeye's chicken sandwich when he's hungry. I don't want to see Blade like, I'm hungry, and he just grabs a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Yes, it's delicious. Yes, Black people enjoy it. Is it stereotype? Probably, but that's what I'm saying with the karaoke. Like, does that have to be in there? I like to do.
You walked in my shadow. I trained you. So the most dangerous people in the world couldn't kill you. Son.
All right, you get the gist. So yeah,
Beats knock though. Woo, the beat there knocks. Even the
Look.
trailers, like the other trailers they had, some nice. The soundtrack in this was amazing.
yep, as we
Yeah,
saw.
yeah, I agree.
So,
Now,
yeah,
Ginny,
man.
what did you think? Like walking into this film, how were your expectations? Were they low? Were they high? Were they just none? You have no expectations when you walked into this film.
Yeah, I'm kind of lucky that, you know, I didn't really think about any expectation at all. I was just hoping, you know, it would be good because, you know, people are expecting it to be like, you know, like the Asian Black Panther for, you know, like the Asian demographic. And I was like trying to knock on wood and just like, yeah, you know, hopefully it doesn't bomb, you know, like critically and all of that. But you know, I'm really surprised at the end. You know, I'm pleasantly surprised, and you know, I really enjoyed it as much, and I'm glad that, you know, like a lot of people had a lot of fun with this as well.
Mm-hmm. How
Casey,
do you
your
feel?
thoughts?
At first, when I first heard the news of this movie, I was like, "Who the heck is this guy? I don't remember him." So I had to go look at the internet and be like, "Okay, that's okay." But then I remember this is the MCU, this is Marvel, this is Disney. They're not going to just invest in any character. And what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy, you can never doubt, never bet against Marvel, you know? So you know they're going to come with something proper. So when I first watched this, I didn't know who the character was, and that was a good thing. So coming into this, it knocked all my expectations out the park.
Now, this was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. He's a Hawaiian native, and his only prior work that I know was Just Mercy, which I saw, and that was with Michael B. Jordan. I thought that was a very well done movie. So I was excited to see what he'll do with Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi to me was always like a D-list character. So I'm like, if Marvel could knock this out of the park, anything's possible. Because Shang-Chi's origins come from back in that what's that show, Kung Fu, the David Carradine show. Like they kind of based it off of that and Bruce Lee, and they came off with like this knockoff like Kung Fu guy, and for Shang-Chi to morph into what we see now, you know, like I thought they did a great job with his character.
Oh yeah. So that was a time when they were just making like Black exploitive type movies and comic books, you know, so they take all these characters that weren't getting the respect they deserved back then, and they've been knocking them out the park, in my opinion. Marvel did an amazing job with flipping that on its head and making them super ill characters now. and even putting that in the movie and making the satire of that. I love that too.
Yeah. I'm kind of also glad that they didn't really do like a knockoff like Bruce Lee impression with Shang Chi. I'm glad they made him his own character, made him like like someone who can really relate to, like doing like doing like average jobs and then until being pulled into like a bigger picture. And I'm also glad that they didn't really like go into like the stereotypes with with the original Mandarin as well.
Mm-hmm.
So and just really like a breath of fresh air, and it's a really great way of showing a lot of Asian cultures, not in like a negative light, but more like with more insight and more perspective in it.
Yeah, you didn't miss Fu Manchu? But not the guy with the he used to have the beard that he like twirl.
Well, Ben Kingsley from Iron Man 3 almost did it until doing some other route with it, but yeah, other than that, I'm glad they made it like really look totally different. Hopefully the comics will follow the way in from like the movies, and maybe like just do their own adaptation, so just to go away with that negative stereotype of the Fu Manchu look.
Now this movie is called Shang-Chi, but to me, I felt like this was the Mandarin. I felt like he commanded the scene, like every scene he was in. I was just like, yo, I want to see more of this guy, because he kind of like the way he portrayed the character. To me, it came off as like he kind of seemed like Barack Obama. Like he seemed like a diplomat, and he had his reasonings for what he was doing, but he was misunderstood. Like he never came off as like, I'm sinister and I'm evil. Like I understood why he did everything. I was like, nah, man, my man trying to do his work, and you getting in the way of that. So I really like this character. This is up there with Killmonger to me, with a villainous portrayal. How do you feel?
No, the actor is incredible. I was watching, I was like, this guy's killing it. Who is this guy? I gotta look him up. And I looked him up, and Tony Leung. He's like a huge actor. So I got a whole list of movies I gotta go check out from him. So like in the mood for love, Hero I gotta check out. 2046 I gotta check out. The Grandmaster. So I'm gonna go check out all his stuff now, because I was like, this guy's killing it. He was chilling, like he didn't even do his full range, but he just his acting skills. I was like, yo, America, man, you gotta do better. And these guys should have been in Hollywood for decades. You know what I mean? In the prime time. But it's good that we're finally seeing this actor, and he's getting the love and respect he deserves, because he killed it. He made like another villain that is like full dimensional, so kudos, man. Marvel, you guys figured it out.
Ginny, what do you feel about the Mandarin in this film?
Yeah, like he's like that type of like charismatic character where you really don't want to piss off too, because he's really smiling, he's really charming, especially when like he was interacting with Awkwafina's character. I was like, just don't say anything that that sounded wrong to piss him off. It's just, yeah, I was like a bit intimidated at times, and very drawn into his character. And you're right, he's got like some like aspects of him, like you felt like sympathetic to. And I'm glad that he's not that typical like the leader of like the terrorist group, but he had like more layers to him. Like he had like someone he cares, people he cares about, and he has like love with his family. I just really like to see that side of him, and it kind of reminds me of Thanos, and even other great villains from Marvel, even Loki, with his conflict, like with the people he loves, and plus like with his motives as well.
Like that dinner scene, like it reminded me. I was thinking, I was like, that would be like the equivalent of like going to dinner with somebody like Dr. Umar Johnson, and you give your name, like, my name's Gregory, and he's like, that's your slave name. What's your African?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's like your real name, your Asian name.
Yeah.
Now your Asian name, girl. Don't you give me no fake name. Like,
Katie.
Strong. Let's talk about the titular character of the film. Was Simu Liu? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Simu Liu. Yeah.
Who played Shang-Chi, and he was born in China, raised in Toronto.
Yeah.
This man went from performing as Spider-Man at birthday parties to being a Marvel superhero. So kudos to him, man.
And also doing like stock pictures as well in the internet. Like there's like a bunch of him and like those stock photos of him, like posing. And like how he grew up into like to have become like an action superhero in the MCU.
And you can see the passion, like when he does the interviews and stuff. Like he's so happy. He's just like, I don't care. Like I'm so happy to be in Marvel.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you gotta get in Marvel checks.
Now let's talk about what everybody came here for. Them fights, hands, knees, toes. They were throwing it all. I enjoyed
the choreography. Was absolutely stunning in this. This is what like that the G.I. Joe movie was missing. This is what Mortal Kombat was missing. Amazing choreography where they actually let the scene breathe and move back and let you actually see it as if you're in the like watching it on the bus or wherever they fought. Like it lets you see everything happen, like not scene cutting too much, but actually seeing the flows happen. And the changing of the styles was dope. I don't even know the different styles, but when he was like adjusting it like that, I was like, oh, he's changing it on them on the fly. Like he's like, I'm gonna give you some taekwondo, and then he went karate, and then he went kung fu. Like I was like, oh my god. And they couldn't keep up with it, you know? So I was like, that's so dope.
I love the usage of the fight scenes with the rings, like how they use the rings in this film. Yeah. I thought that was done well. I don't want to get into any spoilers, but they did a really good job with the 10 rings in this movie.
Yeah, but the raw fights were just amazing. Just amazing.
One critique I have, they got a little too CG heavy for me at the third act. Not too much to the point where like I lost interest, like the second Matrix movie. Not that bad, but I think they had a good balance of CG and practical effects. But I want them to rely more on practical effects if they could.
I do.
Up to the fight scenes. Yeah.
But I think they got to show that he's a capable hero who could stand up with the rest of the Marvel MCU guys who came before him. So if he didn't have that type of thing, it wouldn't have. People would doubt him still. But now there's no doubt that he is up there with the greats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much par for the course of every MCU movie. Like the third act always got like a really big action sequence, and gotta have like these giant and monsters or like like cataclysmic events. Yeah. And I like how like the first half is just like your your standard kung fu action Hong Kong movies, and then like the second half is like your regular MCU movie. It's a good balance, and I still really enjoyed it all throughout, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would do.
Yeah, I feel they pulled it off.
The family aspect of the movie was a standout to me, like because I always think of like when you think of like a West Indian family or just any type of immigrant family, you're either a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, or a failure. And I feel like Shang Chi kind of fell in that boat too, because he felt that since he wasn't doing something with his life other than valeting cars, he kind of felt like he was a failure compared to his other family members. Same thing with Awkwafina's character in the movie. She, like, her family wants her to do more in life, and she's kind of just content with where she's at.
Yeah, that was the big theme to this movie, in my opinion, was the generational gap and them being the new front line of the generation and showing their parents that just because they're not doing exactly the way they wanted, they're doing it their own way, coming to this country and still becoming something successful. So I think that's a thing that we can all, gravitate to.
And it's also like a really big, huge factor with me, being an Asian and really experiencing that kind of like conflicts, with a lot of Asian families, and me, growing up in like more of a North American value. I like how like there's like a clash of like the Asian versus the American values, and it's I like how they're bring like good balance, like there's good things or good points to both sides, but trying to bring like a great balance to it. I like how Katie, Awkwafina's character Katie, started to develop and like started to learn her growing up more in America and having that Asian diaspora, with her not being able to speak the language that much, or like having more fit into the American lifestyle. So I like when they journeyed into like like the more mystical aspects later on the movie. I like how she's being able to grow and like learn, being able to appreciate from where she came from.
That's a very relatable thing. Like I have Spanish friends or Puerto Rican, some Mexicans, who their family speaks Spanish, but they grew up in America or in Canada, so they don't speak Spanish, and they kind of feel like outsiders to their family members. So I feel like that was a relatable storyline with Awkwafina's character. Let's dive into Awkwafina, because she's been in a lot of controversy lately It seems like she left her black scent at Nora from Queens. I guess she left it over there. And with this film, the black scent was missing. Personally, I thought she did a okay job. Not okay. I thought she did a decent job in this film. She wasn't too heavy-handed with her comedy. I thought she was a serviceable character. Casey, how do you feel about the controversy with Awkwafina and how they say that she uses the black scent when it's convenient and it's a caricature?
Yeah, people will fine-tooth comb anything. She grew up in New York City. She grew up doing MTV. She grew up talking that talk from before she even got famous. When she was doing comedy, making hip-hop music.
The talk she's doing is a caricature. And where she grew up in Queens, she grew up in like the rich area.
Yeah, but people are looking for more problems than anything with that. That's fine-tooth combing. I think she did a great job in this movie. She kept the energy up. She held down. She was like the pillar of the movie. I didn't even think she was going to have as much as a presence in this as she did, and anytime she was on screen she shined. I was like, I didn't want to get in spoilers, but yeah, she did a great job. I think she did a great job. Kudos to her.
Yeah, I think from if you just see past her previous stuff and some of the controversy with her black scent, what she brought to this movie I thought was well, but I understand the complaints and I agree with the complaints. So.
Yeah, I get it, but
Ginny, your thoughts on Awkwafina?
Ain't nobody perfect.
Well, I don't really like learn that much of like her history because I know bits of her, just like the bits of her from before. When I learned more from her in Crazy Rich Asians, I kind of find her like really obnoxious, and I thought that that's just her as an actress, talking that talk and all that. But I'm glad to see her sorry, excuse me. I'm glad that they were able to bring her into more not doing that black scent from the Farewell. I've yet to see that movie, but I've heard good things about her acting in there, even in when she plays a comedic part in Raya.
Up there.
You still there, Ginny?
No, her connection dropped.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into spoilers later. Right now, we're just doing okay. Just saying.
Ginny, you back?
After. Yeah.
Hey, sorry about that. My Wi-Fi is really wonky. But,
That's okay.
All right, we're live. It happens.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Other than that, I really enjoy her character from Raya. They don't really do much for obnoxious personality in there. Same with here. Same with her. I like how she doesn't go through her she's not annoying. She's not the annoying sidekick to Shang Chi, and I'm glad that she's able to grow into her own character. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I like her. She plays a part in the final fight of the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting her to have a pivotal role in the film, and that kind of caught me off guard. I was like, oh, they actually have her doing something. Mm-hmm. Like you said, she wasn't a goofy sidekick, just being goofy. Yeah. Now, Casey, here's a scene of Awkwafina that here's one of the scenes of Awkwafina that people were talking about with her in the past, the black scent. So I'm gonna share that with you real quick. I got that pulled up. This is a scene from Ocean 8.
Rihanna was in that one, right?
Red is money, okay?
Really? Free card Monty?
Okay. Follow the queen, live your dream, but don't sleep. Don't sleep, because she might disappear. Saw that? Sweet, right? Yeah. She came back, though. She likes you. All right, let's hit it. And we're following the queen. And we're following the queen.
This is our only choice. The turnover in pickpockets is huge.
Where she at? Where that bitch at? Where she at?
Want to call a lifeline on that?
All right, that one is mine. Come on. There's no hard feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really couldn't tell what how the black scent sounds, but I just find her voice to be so grating at times. Oh my gosh, just stop talking all throughout. It's just,
yeah, she sounds like she smokes cigars like cigarettes, right?
I hate how she does the drawl too. It's okay, shut up, please.
Yeah, people are on a high horse they're all perfect. Whatever. She did some.
I don't know, Casey. If I came on there, hi y'all, I'm here to tell y'all some jokes. Man,
I turn right around.
It ain't that serious.
If I start doing comedy and I come out there, we's gonna get in a heap of trouble if I don't tell these jokes. You're gonna be like, oh, there's Akil out here coming.
Yeah, it's cringy, but it's not like, oh my god, canceled. She's canceled. You know, like,
It's not like she's forcing them.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't feel her. Yeah, it doesn't feel her. Like it's just forcing out like another, you know.
It's a caricature. It comes off as a, like
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot worse that I've seen people do that they're still coming through and being perfectly fine. So
real talk.
She's the least of our worries.
yeah, I ain't perfect. So I'm not no high horse saying, oh, finger wagging at people online for things they do in the past like that. Like I'm just saying, like that's a fine tooth comb looking for problems in a character in a person's acting.
Yeah, let me say this. To me, she comes off as like she's like the Asian Tiffany Haddish. She's like, oh, we got movie Asian people. Oh, we got to insert some comedy. Throw Aquafina in there.
Okay.
Oh, we got
Or
throw
Ken
in
Jeong.
Oh, Tiffany Haddish is busy. Throw Aquafina in there. If you want that same energy. Like the only thing she gotta do next is say booty hole in her next movie.
Yeah, they're that type of actor though. Their energy, they bring energy to the scenes. Like Cardi B, she brings energy.
Yeah. Give her that. She brought energy. Anybody else? Like his sister was kind of forgettable in the film, man.
No, I loved his sister, man. His sister was great.
Oh yeah, so the sister's kind of playing up like the MCU, like the estranged younger siblings type of vibe. We got that from Loki. We got that with Nebula, with Yelena. Like who else? Not that much with Shuri, but other like those like estranged, like those rival siblings that go off to do like their own thing.
Yeah.
I'm eager to see like what she brings in the next movies and all that.
Yeah. She also
I liked her fighting. Her fighting was really her fighting was dope. I liked her story. But like whenever because Aquafina would steal her scenes, really. She'd be ready to talk to Aquafina. Hey, we got. I was like, oh shit! Like the whole energy just back to Aquafina again.
Yeah,
whenever her and the sister are there.
She brought that like nice dark vibe of what the 10 Rings actually is. Like she reminded you, like throughout the movie, even though she was on the right side, she was still reminding you, like, oh yeah, they can go pretty bad because she was bodying a lot of people like nothing, like off the building. You know what I mean? Like
people were dying.
Oh yeah, yeah. She reminded you like where her father can take it or where the fam can take it when they need to, and he forgot. She was like, "You got soft," like. I was like, "That was great."
Yeah. I don't like how like they brought I don't like how they I like how they brought like that thing like because like they said like she couldn't like train with Shang Chi because she's a girl and all that. I like how they addressed and like conveyed her journey into becoming her own independent fighter and being able to like not pushing that some kind of agenda, but like her journey as a character and being able to develop into her own thing. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and she's the way that they didn't even have her in the trailers or anything. You just see all about him, and then they switched it on everybody, and it was like, oh, okay, there is more to his story, and it's not just his story. So I love the way they put her in the movie also.
I thought the women empowerment in this movie was done well. It wasn't heavy-handed. And
heavy-handed. It's
just subtle and it comes off natural. The women empowerment in the film with Shang-Chi's sister and with was her name Mary, who's Awkwafina's character.
Oh, Katie.
Katie. Yeah, with Katie and Xialing.
Xialing. Yeah.
I thought it was subtle and it felt natural as how they grew as characters. It wasn't like women first, like you didn't see them like jump onto the
put me on the side and I'm a girl.
Like girl power. No, it came off subtle and natural. I thought it was dope.
You guys want to give your thoughts of what you thought of the movie, and then we can get into spoilers?
Oh, this is top 3.
How y'all feel about the movie, and then we'll get into have some fun and really just let loose and let out whatever we want, because I can tell we're all saying things where we're like, I don't want to pop this trigger up, so everybody give your thoughts of what you thought of the movie, and then we'll have some fun and get into spoilers, talk those Easter eggs we loved.
I'll let our guests go first.
Yeah.
All right, for sure. I feel like it's pretty much an enjoyable movie. It's that's such an improvement from like the previous last MCU movie, which is Black Widow. I'm really glad that we're kind of getting like the excitement going and gearing for more of the theatrical releases of the MCU, since we're like really enjoying our stay at home, with the Disney Plus shows. I'm glad that they really upped their game in there, and Shang-Chi as a whole pretty much gives like a middle finger to either Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Mortal Kombat. I've yet to watch that, so I couldn't really get clear judgment. But most of all, big middle finger to the live action Mulan. This is the movie that we deserve for like a good action like kung fu movie, but also gives really great representation for the Asian culture. I give it like, how do you guys rate? Is it out of 10, out of 5? Out of 10, I give it an 8 out of 10. Has like the flaws of being like regular MCU like formula, but other than that, I still I was able to forget that I'm watching a Marvel movie and really enjoy like some of like the cultural aspects of it.
Mm-hmm. Akil, how you feel?
Oh, this is 9 out of 10 for me, man. Mm-hmm. You gotta have a compelling villain. You got some dope ass fight scenes that slap. I'm talking hands, feet, knees, toes, slapping. Mm-hmm. Old school kung fu slapping. Akil, that type of slapping. Okay.
Yeah.
So like it brought everything to me. I thought it was great. My only complaint was overuse of CG in the end, but that's fine. What they could do moving forward to make it better, use more practical effects. Maybe bring in the team that did the Raid series, Raid 1 and Raid 2, because that movie only had like a $5 million budget, and they just kept everything grounded. And they could do that with Shang-Chi and just only use the CG when needed. Like, this guy could be mostly practical effects, and it'll pay off like well with his character. So that's my only complaint was third act, too much CG. Other than that, great film, great pacing. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, this was Marvel origin stories done at its highest and best. They seen the mistakes that they made of the last ones with the villain being a perfect match. This was great. They knocked this out the park completely. I love the first, second, and third act of this movie. I give this a 9.5. It's knocked Suicide Squad out the park. I love that movie. I thought that was the movie of the summer. Fast and the Furious, stupid action movie. They knocked that out the park. This is the movie of the summer. This is something that you gotta go see in the theaters. So if you can, be safe. Go early, see it in the theaters while it's empty. That soundtrack was great. The choreography was great. The actors' chemistry was great. The actors were phenomenal. There's no flaws that I could see in this, because this is only the origin story. So he's got a lot more to give and a lot more to show. So Disney, Marvel, kudos. You killed it. And I'm excited to go see this again in theaters already. I was watching this and I'm like, oh, we gotta go see this again. My girl, like, yeah, we going again. We were like, wait, go tonight. So it's a great movie when you're watching. You're like, oh, I don't want this to end yet. Oh, it might end soon. You know what I mean? I'm like, I gotta see this again. So kudos, man. Y'all killed it. 9.5.
Now, before we get into spoilers, like, where do you see the stacking in Marvel Origins? Because we've seen a lot of origin stories. We've seen Captain Marvel, we've seen Iron Man, we've seen Thor, we've seen Black Panther coming to the becoming a king. So where does this stack in Marvel? I'm not saying like Avenger movies. I'm talking like with origins,
solo movies,
stack with origins.
Still early for me to tell. This stacks high though. This might be top 5, top 3. This stacks high.
3. This is right below Iron Man. This might be better than
Iron Man. This stacks high. This stacks very high, because they did they knew what they did before and they turned it up a notch. They did it a little bit tighter, a little bit cleaner. So I don't know. But you couldn't have this without those little blunders that they did with Thor, little blunders that they did with those or Ant-Man origin. You know what I mean? Like, without those mistakes, they couldn't fine tune it the way they did it for this. So it's a little early. I gotta wait to give that answer, but this is high.
Let the dust settle on it. Ginny,
yeah.
Dude, we're like, how many like movies in the MCU right now? Like 23, 24, 25.
Yeah.
So I've yet to like rank up with being like my favorite solo origin movies in the MCU. But I think it'd be pretty high up there.
Yeah.
I can tell you my worst origins. I think Black Widow and I think Captain Marvel might be near the worst for me as well.
Black Widow.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's low on the list for sure.
Because she didn't get her shit together until the third act. I'm like, damn. The third act, she finally got it together. I was just like, Nah, it's taking too long, man. Shang-Chi, like it was a clear path, everything.
When he caught the keys, the movie was going on a great level. You know what I mean? At the beginning. So
my man was just whooping ass on a whim. He's just like, I guess something's about to go down. I'm gonna just whoop some ass and figure it out as I go.
You don't want to do this.
I don't want to fight you, but I will. A lot of that. Spoilers. You ready to?
Let me give some people time to get out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Again, you can mess with us at thebacchanalsquad@gmail.com, Instagram and Twitter, _Bacchanal, Facebook. We got the group, the Bacchanal Podcast fan page. The Bacchanal is spelt for you slow people out there. BACCHANAL. Okay, so thank you for listening. If you're coming to join us with the spoilers and have a little fun, welcome. Let's do it.
I remember I had one of my country friends. He's like, "You got that back anal page? Back anal?" I was like, "No, it's not no back anal." I'm afraid to click on that black.
Yeah, I was gonna make a meme and I was gonna put on our Instagram where you remember from In Living Color, the two guys were like, hated it. I was like, this is not us. Stop saying this is us. You know. Yeah, but let's get it. Let's get it, guys.
What do you want to jump into? Trevor. Trevor's back, baby.
I love that. Yeah.
You didn't kill Trevor.
Nah. And he's still here. He's still here to cause some, jokes in the future.
Yeah, I'm happy that like they picked like the really negative aspect or like the most divisive part in Iron Man 3 and make him into like his own character and make him like really beloved and be his own thing. It's almost like a redemption arc for him as a character.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Shit, though, he was just there. He pretended to be dead on the battlefield. Like,
so calm down. I'm not. I'm just acting.
Did more work.
But it was kind of jokes though, because he's like, hey, relax, don't worry, it's just a movie, just act. And I was like, hey, it is a movie. We're watching a movie.
Wow.
So that fourth that like dimension breaker that he did there. Yeah, the fourth wall.
Watcher.
Like, yeah, that was actually pretty funny. It's like, you'll be fine, just play dead. It's a movie.
Isn't Ben Kingsley like half Indian?
I have no idea. He's hilarious. He's funny. He's a great actor.
That's Asian. See, there you go.
Yeah.
Got his toe in the door.
India's like really forgotten like Asian country. Like people don't know, or people tend to forget like India is part of Asia. So they're considered Asians.
He considered Asian, so he jumped on the Shang-Chi bandwagon. So yeah, I thought Trevor's addition was great. I thought he had a film. I like the introduction of him in the jail cell. I was like, oh shit. I was like,
yeah, I felt bad for him when they went in the basement and then he was there like, what year is this? He didn't even know what's going on. He's been down there since Iron Man 3. You know how long ago that was? Like in their time, he's been there like 10 years.
Yeah,
it goes to show you how much the Mandarin can be even merciful, because like they're like impersonating him into a bad light. And then when they finally, captured like the actor himself, and he was supposed to kill him, but I think his personality made him like okay, I'll spare you. You can be like my clown jester.
Yeah,
in my compound.
That just shows how badass the dad's character is, because like he could have killed him.
You're too stupid.
Let's jump on. Let's dive into the rabbit hole. Okay, so let's say the snap happened, and let's say Trevor left. Maybe he got snapped and he disappeared for 5 years, or maybe the person that was supposed to feed them disappeared for 5 years. What did he do during the snap? During the snap.
Yeah, he just stuck down there years.
Stuck down there for years, man.
Yeah.
He don't even know that Thanos existed. He don't have no TV. He don't know that Tony's dead. He just saw people turning into dust probably outside of a window. No clue.
Window? He was in the basement. He was under the garage.
Yeah, like all walls.
That's what I love. Like they did such a good job with the dad. The dad was so evil to a point where it was like, you haven't even seen that evil. When you're seeing that, you know how evil that is to put someone in the basement that long. Like, he's like the furthest of like dominator in this movie. It's like, that's kind of funny. He's so bad, it's funny, like the dad. They did amazing job with him, and he's always been around affecting things for years and years. I like the way they showed that too.
Yeah.
I love the way they put hinted time in here also, and they articulated with their language of time that they're slowly telling us. I like the way that they showed things, and it was parallel to the way that they're communicating this whole new quantum realm and language of time, showing the rings throughout the other Marvel movies, and now in this one they showed it. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah.
Now is Shang-Chi, is he immortal now that he has the rings, or are we going to keep him youthful for years now?
We're still where it actually came from.
Yeah, Akil, you found some theories on that. What's your thoughts?
Before we jump into that theory, you know I always have dumb theories. So here's a dumb one.
The fun ones.
Now, I have a way for Shang-Chi to kill Thanos. He throws the rings up his ass, and then they go into his stomach. And then he punches Thanos in the stomach, and he explodes.
That's kind of like what he did to
the dragon that way.
Yeah, he killed the evil dragon like that. Gave him indigestion. He just kept spinning it around in his belly.
So rings went up Thanos' ass, and Shang-Chi just puts a well-placed punch. Bam! Explosion. Tony wouldn't have to do that snap. All would have been well. They just didn't recruit him in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see parallels with the rings. I see parallels with the rings, and the same way in the Spider-Man trailer, how it showed Doctor Strange doing that spell, and you could see the lines looking just like the same orange lines going around. So I think the rings are parallel with this whole time thing they're talking about.
So in the comics, the Mandarin has those 10 like physical rings that you put on.
The finger rings.
Yep, and those come from the the mouth or whatever. They're shape-shifting dragons. I don't think they're going that route because we already saw a dragon in this film, and I doubt a dragon was like, here you go, here's 10 rings while you're at it. Like, I don't think they're going that route. I think they're going the quantum band route, which has cosmic power, it has energy manipulation, which we saw, and how those bands work. You have to be a worthy person to unlock its full power, which seemed to be the case when Shang-Chi used it. He seemed to unlock the full potential of those bands, the same way that his mom was able to unlock the full potential of the bands when she used it briefly when she was fighting the Mandarin in the past. Like that was like 1,000 years ago. Looked like they were fighting.
Yeah,
or they just wear really old attire in that place that she lives. Now, did you guys see the parallels with what was the name of the place? It was like Tattoo or Taten?
Talo.
Talo. Yeah, it reminds me so much of Kunlun. I was like, man, Iron Fist somewhere tricking himself, man.
I think Talo is like another realm, like Thor's palace, like how how it has Thor's place. I think it's kind of similar to that, where time doesn't really like exist. Like,
yeah, like Kunlun.
Yeah.
So they could possibly bring in Iron Fist in the future, but my theory was they could always do like, well, if they were to do Iron Fist, where my thing would be that they'll make his dad white and then make his mom of Asian descent and then like a native of Kunlun, but they pretty much did that here. So I'm just like, if they are to introduce Iron Fist in the future, how would they do that? And would he even be necessary with somebody like Shang-Chi now, who has the power of the 10 rings? What are you going to do with one fist when I got these 10 rings right here where I could basically Hulk jump everywhere?
Yeah, but we're going to get, like, for example, Hulk. We're going to get She-Hulk. We're going to get all the different Hulk family people. So I could see him being, like Shang-Chi could be an adult more, like a 25 to 32-year-old. And then we got the other guy who's maybe 17-year-old.
Like a younger Iron Fist?
Yeah, like what I think I perceived him to more be like an 18-year-old chilling with the New York when they had that. He was more, in my understanding, he's younger. That's why in the story it seemed like he was so like green to everything, because he's supposed to be like 20 years old, but he lost 10 years of his life. You know what I'm saying? So I could see him getting that younger audience by being a 17-year-old in the future.
Now back to the bands and the powers of the bands.
Yeah.
When he sent out the beacon, I believe he's sending it out to the Celestials, and that's going to jumpstart the whole Eternals dilemma going on, because they're always like, oh, we don't intervene unless it's a demon or whatever. So I feel like
a deviant,
a deviant, yeah. So I believe some type of beacon's going to go off to like one of the Celestials that's going to create some type of conflict. And if the powers are quantum bands, they pull that energy from the quantum realm. That's why Doctor Strange nor Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel knew what they were, because they're like, that's not from our realm, so they'll know. So
Yeah.
that'll also pull Shang-Chi into the Ant-Man movie, which would make sense since he's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So that's my crazy theories right now.
It definitely has to do with time. I could see the rings. My question is with the rings, why did it only alert the Eternals when he put the rings on? Why didn't his dad's actions do anything?
Because he didn't unlock the true power rules. That blue kind of glow.
Yeah, it felt like blue. Well, but with Shang-Chi, it was like more yellow. So I think
I think it's probably because the balance of the mom and the father coming together with Shang-Chi, and then the rings. It's probably that yin and yang came together through him, and then it created that maybe.
That dragon scale armor was fire. Like I want to buy that jacket. They have it on the Disney shop.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, is that cultural appropriation if I wear the Shang-Chi jacket?
No, I don't. I personally, I can't say, but I don't think so.
I want to wear it though. I was like, I don't think I'm allowed.
It looks like Michael Jackson's biker coat, but just another level. You know, like
Oh no.
You remember the red biker coat that he used to rock?
Jacket?
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
So,
Fire though, it's fire.
Whoa.
Yeah. Jeez, what else do you guys want to talk about? Spoilers. Where do you want to go with this?
I like how there was one white guy in the film and he was the bad guy. They had no other white guys. He was the one white dude. And then he kind of had a change of heart at the end. The guy with the blade for an arm.
Oh, yeah.
Razor Fist.
Razor Fist.
Yeah.
I was in shock that Razor Fist survived and the other guy didn't survive. That other guy was sick. Can't remember his name right now. What's his name? I can't remember his name. The one who trained Sean. Huh?
I think he's a death dealer, they call him.
That's something, yeah, but that character was dope. Anytime he showed up, I was like, oh shit. He's about to kill him.
But in the comics, he always dies like that. Like he's kind of like a gimmick. He looks really dope but dies easily.
Yeah. But that fight scene where Sean actually beat him, I was like, oh, that's sick. Like he's still trained after. And I love the way with the sister, even though she wasn't taught directly, her passion made her want to learn by her. She was self-taught. And,
yeah.
Yeah, and she was like damn near better than Shang, you know. So it's like, it's gonna be very interesting when he has the 10 rings, but he doesn't have that killer instinct that the sister was raised with, or that jadedness to, you know, her father or him that the brother doesn't have. She has that, you know, that killer instinct. So it'll be very interesting to see her as the antagonist in the future more than her father. I'm more interested to see that.
I had some questions. Like he just showed up to high school with no parents or anything like that. And like, hey, my name's Sean. Where do you live? Your family. He's always at Aquafina's family's house eating their food. I'm like, it sounds like he's damn near homeless.
Yeah.
It seems like he just like now got that apartment. Like, I was like, what were you doing? He didn't steal money. He was supposed to. Did he went through with the hit? He said, right? He did the hit.
Yeah.
He didn't feel good about it. So I'm just like, I would have stole my dad's money at least before I left.
Maybe he did. We don't know.
Steal a little something. Like, where was he living? How was he surviving? Just showing up to school as a 16-year-old with no background, no nothing. Like, where'd he get fake papers and everything?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, good question. But his dad knew where it was the whole time, so
like he didn't get in trouble. Like, this needs a parent signature. He's like, oh shit, what am I gonna do now?
He's like, it's all A's, but I know he wouldn't be happy about this. It's not the A+.
That's a stereotype, man. Shang-Chi could have been bad in school.
Yeah, maybe he could have.
He could have got a B- there.
It's like, my dad's gonna kill me for this. Oh man, but
you want to jump into
the fights? I liked Wong. Wong in this was great. He did a serviceable amount in this, and it's good to see that he's being used more in the MCU. He's not just a character who's just there and he's gone. You know, like he actually has a lot more to offer in the MCU. I like that.
At first, I thought they were just throwing Wong in there because I was like, oh, he's Asian, so they go throw Wong in there. But like, it explained more of Wong to me. Like, if you watch the Spider-Man trailer and he's like yelling at the Doctor Strange, like, don't go do blah blah blah. He's about to go off and go do something. I was like, man, he probably gambling or doing karaoke with Shang-Chi for all we know.
I think
I have work to do.
Apparently, I think it's caused probably like the effects of the blip and how much such like money is in depth And I don't know, I don't know where I heard this from, but they said like the Sanctum is in debt, so I think that's why he's trying to like get like the like gambling money to like raise money for like the the Sanctum. So
Oh.
I'm not quite sure, but I don't know. I think he needs money for something.
So he stole that girl's drink and just shot it back for the Sanctum then, eh?
Yeah, I don't
Remember
know.
when he went
I
in?
don't
He's
know.
like, we gotta go.
Yeah,
Dang.
he might have a good cause.
Yeah. What do you guys
But,
think? Him and not Hulk, but what's that guy's name?
Abomination.
Abomination. Where do you think they went?
He put him back in jail. They got some type of deal. He probably cut some, 25-75%.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in the raft. Yeah, I think they put him back in the raft.
Yeah.
That's where he's supposed to be.
I find that fascinating that they have a relationship that they have, to be able to go and do some pro wrestling in front of thousands of people and dip out when they want.
It is
It's a
pro
good game.
wrestling. They put on a show, man.
Yeah, they put on a show, made some money quick and dip back. But why? You know what I mean? Is it
They got that friendship, man. They're setting up the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, that's
They're
cool,
doing
man.
really.
So the Thunderbolts, I feel like that's gonna be Marvel's answer to the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
think
man.
so.
Yeah.
And they're building it up very well and like very nice and meticulously. So I'm really enjoying what they're doing with that.
And they're doing it slowly. They're not just, just rambling. Like, there's going to be characters that you've seen before. They're not just throwing shit together like DC. Like, you're going to be, oh, it's that guy from the previous film.
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah. But I think you need to watch like the Disney Plus shows too. You can get other like the characters that are going to be in the movie someday too. So yeah, I think it'd be necessary for the audience to catch up with the Disney shows if they haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, because it's all canon, right? Which I think is
it
pretty
is all
dope with
canon.
the
Yeah.
Doctor Strange episode.
Now, what did you guys think about before I go into the last end credit scene? What do you guys think about the Hulk being human again, his arm being in the brace?
Oh yeah, I was confused. Yeah, because I thought like the end game, I thought that was his permanent form, like having like a good balance between his Bruce Banner intellect and like his Hulk strength. So I'm kind of curious to why he reverted back to into Bruce Banner.
Yeah, that was probably like a
I
last
don't
minute
know.
decision to do that, and then they're like, "Yo, it'll cost us about this much, this 100,000 million to 3D Hulk, or this much is just Ruffalo and put him behind a green screen. $20 for this, or $1 million for this. Let's just get him." I don't think they thought that hard on that one.
I think everything's for a reason with Marvel. Maybe this is going to tie into She-Hulk and why he reverted back to his Banner form, but his arm's still in the brace, man. So that tells me that snap,
That's
permanent damage right there.
Looks like
Yeah.
messed him up. Yeah,
Wasn't
but I think
working.
it
he
was
needs to start
financial.
technology to like at least give him like a good brace like Rhodey, because he was like paralyzed from the waist down and he had like those those good brace. So
Oh
yeah,
that's
I
true.
wish like
Yeah.
Bruce had that like like for his arm.
Yeah.
You think that Stark's gone, so the only like genius mind like that right now is Suri, and she's kind of doing her own
Yeah.
thing in Wakanda.
Wakanda
So
forever.
but I'm waiting for Riri Williams to come in and introduce her.
Ironheart.
'Cause she could take that place of Tony with whenever they need new tech, they could go to Riri, because she was building an Iron Man suit out of a garage in Detroit. So it's going to be interesting to see what she does in the MCU in the future.
Riri Williams built an Iron Man suit in the garage.
Hey, yeah, she built hers in the garage and Tony built his in the cave. So anything's possible. Wasn't America Chavez supposed to be in this movie? I missed her cameo.
I thought she's gonna be in Doctor Strange because I saw like leaked posters of her being included in the mix too.
Okay, so there wasn't any hidden characters in this film that.
Not that I noticed.
Okay, making sure I didn't miss anybody. Because I was looking, I was like, is Chavez supposed to be in this? I was looking.
All I know was like that recurring character, like the one who was like filming Shang Chi's fight in the bus. Like he was the same guy asking Spider-Man to do a flip.
Yeah.
I was wondering why is he in San Francisco this time?
He's on vacation, man. He's everywhere.
Take a quick flight.
I like how he was like breaking the down. He's like, I did some karate in my youth. I did a class.
Yeah. I was like, props to him. He went live, and then in 2 seconds, he had like 300,000 people watching him. I was like, this guy's big on the internet or something.
That's big, man.
That's how he got that traveling money. He's just, doing his thing online.
Vlogging.
Yeah.
Joe of the Marvel MCU. Maybe he's that person.
Who?
Or like a Joe Rogan type character.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I'm excited to see him pop up in even more movies.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's not just in New York. So like, if another event shows up, maybe he's like, "Yo, it's your boy. I'm live again."
Oh God.
Reassembled, baby. Like I'm ready for the new Avengers.
God, if he's getting the next Stanley cameo. Wow.
Yo, they could use him as a new Stanley. I would enjoy that. Every film he pops up filming something.
Yeah, it should be like an actual YouTube channel with just Clev or like that guy and having like a YouTube channel just as a joke.
We're giving Marvel free ideas right now that they're like,
Yeah.
we didn't even think about that. Let's go make a channel for this guy right now. How do you guys feel about the last end credit scene where Shang-Chi's sister taking over the 10 rings? I knew she was scheming and just waiting to do that.
I loved it.
This is her moment.
They could have switched the mid credits and end credits scene. I agree with that. But yeah, I kind of felt, because I said she's giving me like the Yelena vibes. Like she's not gonna be like an all good, like hero. She's probably gonna be like maybe like more in the middle, like kind of leaning into villainy, or sometimes doing good things at the side. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see where she takes the 10 rings, and she's like doing her own thing, like being more inclusive, like with more the women training, and then like see the guys also training at the side too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And Sean was like, "Oh, she's gone to dismantle the 10 rings," and then you see her chilling.
No, she's not.
Hell no. She done took that thing over. She made it her empire for real. What she wanted in the beginning. No, I loved it. That was great. That scene was great. I love the art that they put with the spray painting everything down, like
graffiti and
like
all
her
that.
bedroom. She took her bedroom and just exploded throughout the whole place. So that was dope, man. I love that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the fight choreography. Hold on, the fight choreography real quick. I love the way that they communicated to each other. Like when the dad first met the mom, and they weren't like having a conversation, but they were having conversation through fighting. I'm like, oh, you could do this. Well, I could do this. Oh, I've never seen it.
It's like almost like a dance too. It's like almost like kind of like romantic dance, but like more martial arts.
That was beautiful. That whole set piece right there was beautiful. Even when Sean met his sister again for the first time in 10 years, he's like, I'm not gonna fight you. And she just beat his ass. Like he's like, I deserve this, and he just took the hits. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing fight choreography.
Yeah. Even when Shang-Chi like did like the same like movements that the mother did before, and then he did that on his father, and you can kind of see like the reaction of Wen was like, oh wow, this takes me back. It's like
when he flipped the dad to the side and it looked just like the mom, and the dad was looking at his son like, oh my god, I miss my wife, and then he just got him. It was like, oh, that was great. Yeah,
the feels.
Now, one thing about that fight I like to touch on, like in the beginning. Like his dad was just shifting blame to everybody. You're the reason why my wife died. You're the reason for this. I was just like, come on, bro. So like when Shang-Chi finally like had him realize like that he was at fault and for him to take responsibility, I thought that was a dope scene. Of course, he died afterwards because that's how Marvel is. Whenever you start getting your shit together as a villain, it's time to go. So
did he?
I wish they could have kept him in though, like for more.
Yeah, that thing took his soul, man.
We got time though. They're dealing with time right here, and he's been around for 1,000 years. We're gonna see him again. I don't think it's the only we're gonna see of him. They can go back in time. They can go forward. We don't know when he got the rings for real. We don't know what his full potential was with the rings.
We don't know how old he is either. He's 1,000 years.
1,000 years. Yeah, the medieval ages.
So we got a lot to see from him. I think they're gonna go back in time with the Eternals, and we probably might see a scene later on the Avengers or in Shang-Chi Part 2, we're not done with this character yet.
Not sure if I had anything else I wanted to jump into. Anything else you want to touch on, Casey?
I just love that they showed that everybody can drive, in the hardest of circumstances. That she was driving, people say Asian people can't drive. She was driving her ass off in this movie. You know what I mean? So
they broke 2 stereotypes. She was Asian. Kudos to you, Marvel.
Kudos, Marvel. Everybody can drive.
Everybody could drive.
Yeah, she was doing it great in the sports car at the beginning. That was dope.
Yeah, she was scaring me with that sports car.
Oh god, yeah, me too. Like, oh god, don't wreck that thing.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like, they need an Ant-Man reference, man. He's all about San Francisco. Like maybe like the truck parked somewhere, like where T.I. and them use like something like that, just some type of like Easter egg.
He had to pop up and be like, "What you know about that?"
No, I don't
drive off. So stupid. How could they fit him in though?
No, like he didn't have to be there, but just like some type of reference, like they drive past like Hank Pym's office or something, man. Like,
or if you see like a giant train, like in the dumpster in the somewhere in in a scene like that toy train that became giant, something like that. Maybe that'd be kind of cool to see.
Some type of reference that this is Ant-Man's domain. Like Ant-Man's all about San Francisco. He's always out here in these streets.
Yeah, do you guys
something?
They're expanding this so much. Do you guys think they're gonna have a Avengers West Coast Avengers?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
the West Coast.
Yeah, because that's something they did in the comic books. Because there's so much characters, they had to like split it up to be able to tell different stories. And
I think we'll see more of that with the Hawkeye show when they start showing Kate Bishop.
Yeah,
because I think Kate Bishop is in New York and in LA at times. So
okay,
we're gonna do that. Oh, I did have another theory. Yeah. Okay, so with Shang-Chi's sister taking over the 10 Rings, and we have Sharon Carter. She's a villain now, and she's kind of working with Hydra. And then we have the Armor Wars. I think there's going to be some type of collusion or something's going to happen between the three of them, where Rhodey, the 10 Rings, and Sharon Carter in the future. Because the 10 Rings, they have history with Iron Man. That's going back to the first movie with him getting kidnapped. We never got the explanation of why he was kidnapped from the 10 Rings, minus Obadiah's involvement with that. So they could dive into the 10 Rings with that. And then Sharon Carter's doing shiesty stuff, and she's trying to get weapons, so she can always talk to the 10 Rings. So,
wait, what did they call her again? The something breaker.
The what?
Yeah, from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. What did they call her again? Something breaker.
Forgot. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about though. Ah, man.
Well,
it's killing me now. I can't remember. But yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. But I just want to say, when you guys talked about
Power Broker.
The fight scene, Power Broker.
Power Broker.
Yeah. That fight scene it looked like one of the Black Widows and someone from Iron Man 3, like that fills up with fire. Remember in Iron Man 3? That's the same.
Yeah, they had one of those. Yeah.
It looked like two Black Widows fighting, and that person, one of those type of people were fighting. So that was kind of cool little Easter egg they added in there. I don't know if I'm right or not, but
you're right. No, I caught that too.
Yeah, even my sister, when we saw the end credits, like when we saw like the more like women warriors training, she was like thinking, are those like the Black Widow stuff from the last movie? Like I was like, I don't know, it could be.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope if it was. Sorry, what'd you say, Akil?
I think a lot of them are unemployed right now. We're nowhere to go.
Yeah, like where are they supposed to go?
And that's like the perfect place for them to work, like the stories together and meld it, like. So that would be genius if Marvel did that.
A job.
Yeah, exactly. Cut the check.
They're gonna like waste my training for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Man. They're hiring at the 10 Rings. Shit, man. A job's a job.
Room and board right there. Got food. Fridge is full.
Yep. It's women empowerment.
Inclusive.
Yeah, that'd be a nice combination. The sister and them. Whew.
So I'm calling it, man. The Power Broker and the 10 Rings team up in the future.
Yeah, and the Black Widow soldiers. Yep. That's a dominant force right there. Definitely dominant force, still taking over the underbelly of the world. That'd be dope. Yeah, that'd be really, really.
I'm
dope.
excited to see where Marvel goes in the future, man. Like, I'm excited to see what Shang-Chi does, because like he's a force to be reckoned with now, man. With these rings, like before without the rings, I was just like, okay, they got Jackie Chan join the squad, but now that he has the rings, I'm like, you got Super Jackie Chan join the squad.
I think he was killing people. He was doing a great job, like before the rings. But the thing is, like, nobody noticed how many people he was murdering this movie. Like before the rings, like on the bus, he was killing so many people. Like not like regular civilians, but those soldiers that were coming from. My little problem I had in this was the writing was very picky. But like, okay, he just killed so many of your squad, and then you're cool with him later. It's like, aren't you gonna be like, yo, you killed my boy? I grew up with him. You know what I mean? Like, he killed so many of them. Like.
It is what it is.
And so when people are sucking your soul, you're gonna be like, all right, we just gotta try to live here. We're all trying to live, so I get it.
I just realized he does have money, because he just booked that flight for him and Aquafina like that. My guy has money. He stole from his dad.
From a rich family.
He stole from his dad.
Oh yeah.
And his dad knows. He's like, I keep tabs on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sean.
I love that part when they were breaking down his name, and then she was just like, wait a minute, so you went from Shang to Sean? Like, really?
Sean.
That was a great part in the movie. I think they did a great job of articulating everything in this movie, man. I'm excited to see what's next. How you guys feeling about Eternals coming up?
I still don't
hope
care.
it lives up to the excitement. Hopefully, it really ramps up, like, and they become more relevant into like the future.
Yeah, you still have your doubts on it, Akil?
I still don't care. They're way too powerful. They're not relatable. I like what they bring to the Marvel universe, where their genes could possibly lead to the mutants and the addition of the Celestials. That's cool. But them as characters, I could care less.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is I'm excited to see it, but I think the initial core thing that they're gonna do in it is robots finding love kind of storyline. Like they were sent to do a job. The job they were sent to do was a lie, and now they're actually finding love with enemies and humans. And the movie's gonna spiral from that. That's just I have no idea. I'm just looking at the trailers.
Annoying too. They're like, oh, we love the humans so much, and you're just watching humans just get murked left and right.
They're like
entries. You're just like,
I love that guy. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want that type of love. Come on now.
Yeah,
now, what was
but
the
I feel
Black
like
Eternal doing during slavery?
Chilling out. He's buying IKEA stocks.
Wait, where the Transformers do more involved in history than like the Eternals.
Yeah, that's the problem, because it's very similar to that Transformers story, so it's gonna hurt them in that way, I think. Yeah. But I bet on Marvel, man. I don't bet against Marvel. So I
really hope too, because they're like putting up like the Academy Award winner, Chloe into the name. So hopefully they don't jinx it. To be a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
One last theory, Casey.
Yeah.
The Eternals don't have their memories, and then what Shang Chi just did with that beacon gave them back their memories. Boom.
And brings back the whatever they're called, the bad
Celestials
guys.
And the Deviants.
Deviants. It brings back the Deviants. Yep.
That's the only way they can make the Eternals make sense, is that they lost their memories, and what Shang-Chi did, just reboot. They hit the factory reset button on them, and now they're back.
Possibly. Yeah. But they could twist it up, because Marvel twists up the trailers. But in the trailers, they said because of the snap, the 2 snaps to bring back everybody, that brought back everybody. But we'll see. Maybe they're just doing that in the trailer to just throw everybody off. So I'm excited to see that movie. It looks like a high scale film, so I'm excited to watch that.
I am not excited.
You're just lowering your expectations, so you're like, it doesn't break your heart and you enjoy it more. That's all.
The villain, like, they're fighting like giant puppy dogs. I don't know what the hell that was. It looked like the first Hulk movie.
Yeah, in the comic books, the Deviants look way more mutant-y, like they look more ugly, like beastie. But this they look more clean.
I'm just excited, like seeing the Celestials and how it looks like in the big screen.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks really really cool in the comics, but to see that in full scale and it would probably look majestic too.
I'd rather see a blind sex addict in Hell's Kitchen fighting crime than Celestials shooting beams out there.
Daredevil, that's who he's talking about.
Exactly. My favorite blind sex addict. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited for. I want to see. There's talks that there's a Man Without Fear series or a possible movie in the future.
I'm for it.
We'll see. And hopefully that ties into Spider-Man, and it seems like Shang-Chi could tie into Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
He did.
Hopefully. But next we got Venom, and that's gonna just be random.
It's gonna be October 1st.
Yeah, Venom.
Yeah, October 1st.
Yeah, they're like, just get this thing out. Let's just get it out and just get it out of here. Because if they came out after, it's really bad position after Christmas. That's what they're doing, right? They're pushing it in between Eternals and Spider-Man. Or after Spider-Man, so that's not a good look if they did that.
Kyrie's somewhere patiently waiting. Where's the Morbius coming out, guys?
He's like, that Fast and the Furious check's almost done. He's like, oh man,
Morbius, I want to join the MCU.
Yeah. But no, I'm excited for Eternals. I'm gonna watch Venom 2, but I'll watch that at home. That ain't no theater movie.
Yeah, that's a drunk at home. When they show it on BET, I'll watch it. BET.
He's black. He works. Venom's black.
Yep, I'll watch it then. On TBS. That's when I'll watch it. I'm good.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add to the podcast?
That's it for me. I am good. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9.5 for me.
Yeah, probably like maybe up my rating to an 8.5.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah, I can't wait to see it again.
Persuade you. Stick to your guns. Ginny, let everybody know where they can reach you and where they can listen to your podcast and all that good stuff.
Well, sure. If you want any like commissions or visit my design pages, you can follow me on Instagram at Ginny Designs. So that is GINNY Designs, and on Facebook at Ginny Leano Design. So Ginny GINNY Leano Designs, or on my Twitter at RCL_ImagoGin. So that's ARCIEL_IMAGOGIN. You can probably can type that in, at the comments one of these days. And you can also find me and Jenny Matasek's podcast at the Noonas Podcast on Instagram and Twitter at Noonas_podcast. So that's NOONAS_podcast. Or you can find our video episodes on Facebook at the Metropolis Collective, since we are under that podcast. And our SoundCloud links will be under any of those pages too.
Everywhere, okay?
Awesome.
Everywhere.
You're on YouTube too, right?
We're not venturing out on YouTube. I just do some random video edits on YouTube. But we're probably considering putting our episodes on YouTube and
Yeah, your video edits are good. I have no clue how to edit videos. KC does that, so I look at your stuff and I was like, yo, that's dope. So I might pick your brain.
Yeah.
So that's it for the Bacchanal Podcast. As usual, you can always email us at thebacchanalspot@gmail.com.
Yes.
And on Facebook and Instagram, we are _Bacchanal. That's Bacchanal, not Backanal. BACCHANAL. I am Akil, joined by
A to the C.
and Ginny here at the Bacchanal Podcast. Everybody stay safe, COVID free, and peace.
Peace.